Hey guys, Cap here from iroboxgaming. And today I'm talking about consoles versus PC. Now, I've always been a console gamer. I started out on the original NES, uh, went to Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, PlayStation, the original Xbox, Xbox 360, and then to the Xbox One, PS4. Uh, Recently, I've switched to primarily gaming on PC, pretty much because I put a lot of money into building an editing machine, and I wanted to make it multi-purpose. So I did a little bit more spending, made it into a gaming machine. My gaming rig right now is just a little over $1,000 a cost. It's not like anything high end that you see on the market now, but for a tinkerer like me, it's a really good option because I like to take stuff apart, put it back together. And I actually went to school to build computers and networks and all that fun stuff. So it's kind of like using that degree I have to actually do something because I don't even work in that field. So let's start off with consoles, like the current generation consoles. So out of my favorite current gen, like PS4, Xbox One, I would have to give it to the Xbox One because I like all the features, like the snap features. I actually do use Kinect not for games, but to actually control. Like I like to be able to watch the baseball game while I'm playing Call of Duty or Halo. PS4, I love the PS4. It's what I started creating content on this channel, and the PS4 was easier to do that because you could record up to 15 minutes with the PS4. The exclusives were really good. It looked really nice, but again, I liked the features of the Xbox One. I'm more of a feature person. I don't really care about graphics. I've started with playing with PC because with Call of Duty, it looked like crap when I first installed it, and I had to tinker around with settings, and that's another reason why I like the PC more. Is I got settings I can tinker with, make my game run better, make it look better. It depends on what I'm doing, and also I have the option of a controller or a keyboard. Some games like Star Wars Battlefront, I do better with the keyboard, but games like Call of Duty, I do better with the controller. So I like the options that the PC brings. Going back a bit, like I remember the PC wasn't really a good gaming platform back in like the 90s. There was games I loved to play on it, like Duke Nukem 3D. There was this one game that was kind of like an RPG, and you had these four people, and each had their own like abilities, and you move through the map. Now I know it sounds like a lot of games, I just can't remember, but this game came on like seriously like 10 floppy disk to install this motherfucker. It was 10 floppy disk, and Duke Nukem 3D, I think that was multiple disc, but then it started coming out on CD, and so we went out and got the CD version. Jill of the Jungle I used to play on old PC. The original Duke Nukems, the side-scroller Duke Nukems, Doom, Quake Arena was one of my favorites. I also had that on the Dreamcast, which was one of my favorite consoles. But back in the day, like when my Xbox first came out, I loved it better than the PlayStation. Halo 2, I was playing that game online day one, and that was really my first online experience. Then yeah, I used to drag that thing over to John Carlo's house. I ended up selling it to John Carlo because I got sick of dragging it over, and I ended up getting a new one that I bought off John Carlo because he won it as a prize. So it was pretty interesting how me and him would trade off consoles. I also had a GameCube, and GameCube was really good. I liked Resident Evil 4 on it. Even though they keep re-releasing Resident Evil 4, it's kind of beating a dead horse. Nintendo 64 was where it was at. I used to go over to friends' houses in high school, play GoldenEye, Perfect Dark. Donkey Kong had a multiplayer mode. and just a ton of good games. Mario Party, and that's pretty much why I've always been a console person until now, is because I would go over to my friend's house and play games at my friend's and hang out with my friends. There was actually exercise involved with me going out gaming with people. Was I would get up, walk over there because I was too cheap to get the bus, and pretty much play games like Star Wars Rogue Squadron. We used to play Star Fox. The Nintendo 64, I think, was the heyday of gaming. You had the PlayStation on the market. It was doing really well. You had a lot of variety. Now, with this current generation, you do have variety, just not as much as you did back then. Like, you got your generic Call of Duties, like cut paste last year's game into this scenario. And Halo didn't do too well. They took away split screen, and yet Call of Duty Black Ops 3 is split screen on the PC, and it's kind of a strange thing, and I love it. Like, gaming on the PC has been a very fruitful experience for me. Like, actually building my rig, I bought a basic computer, like went to Best Buy, bought something that was on sale, and slowly upgraded it. Now, pretty much this summer, this computer is going to be gutted and then built into a new one. Pretty much, I'm going to go out, get a really good motherboard. I'm looking to spend around $200 to $300 on a motherboard, about $500 on a CPU, and I'm going to have a pretty good rig. Maybe replace the graphics card I just bought, but I'm in no rush to do it. Like, games on minimum versus recommended, I'm just starting to get what that means. Like, it does really make a difference when you're playing a game like Grand Theft Auto. And yeah, so I'm going to leave it here. What's your favorite console gaming experience? And I'll check you guys later. I'm Cap from iroboxgaming, and we're out.